Ever been to the podiatrist and been told to swipe here for another $400 orthotic shoe insert? Well, other than legitimate structural deformities in your body, it may be wise to do away with your reliance on such items and instead replace them with some good old-fashioned smart training. Want to know how? After getting through some of the what in regards to flat feet, I'm going to bring you some simple drills to have you walking and feeling like a whole new person. Pes Planus, more commonly referred to as flat feet, is the occurrence in which an individual's natural arches of the foot are either non-existent or fallen. What this results in is the foot sitting in a pronated position. This might not seem like a bad scenario, and it isn't when you're a child, but would you like to live in a house with a pronated infrastructure? Of course you wouldn't. And the same should be said for this situation. You see, you're supposed to have an arch in the foot. If you're lacking one, then your first point of contact upon the ground, i.e. your foundation, suffers big time. But if you do have an arch, then your stability and even shock absorption capabilities are up for grabs, which is ideal as you make your way around this planet's rugged terrain. For example, the medial longitudinal arch, or your MLA, which consists of bones like the calcaneus, talus, and a few metatarsals, is highly crucial for absorbing the impact that you create when running or jumping. So if your MLA is not present or not doing its job, then a whole host of issues can arise. For starters, without an MLA, your foot exists in this flat pronated position. And because of this, it initiates a cascade reaction that tracks right from your feet all the way up to your head. Before I show you what I mean, it should be said that this scenario can occur due to a number of factors ranging from congenital reasons to being overweight to overworking the areas of the body that are responsible for keeping the foot in check, like your tibialis posterior tendon, to even more simply never developing the muscles that enable you to be more in control of your foundation. In short, you essentially are either born with it or you acquire it over time. In either case, let me show you what can arise. As I was saying before I cut myself to the part 2 title screen, a flat foot can cause many issues, which indeed makes sense of course. I mean, if the foundation of the house is upset, then the rest of the house is going to be too. But let me take you through what can happen when flat feet or pronated feet are in existence for too long. And let's do this by looking at this image. So, here's the flat foot, and as you can see, it is caving inwards or pronated. This causes the set of bones that sit above this area to become disrupted, and in this case, the tibia and fibula. These guys begin to live in an internally rotated reality, which then causes the knees to also internally rotate. Over time, this can result in your knees taking some wear and tear upon the many bits of tissue that live in and around your knee joint. If we follow the body up, next in line for assault are your femur bones. These can also exist in an internally rotated reality, which means your hips that are next in line can be in what is known as an anterior pelvic tilt. But it doesn't always just stop there. You see, this cascade effect can keep going up the chain and result in the lower back's position becoming altered, your thoracic spine changing to accommodate what is going on below, which means your neck can follow, your shoulders can follow, even your elbows and wrists can come along for the ride too. And this is all because your body has been forced to adjust to your foundation, i.e. your pancakes down below. So as you can see, just because your feet aren't doing their job, a fair bit can go wrong. And this isn't even taking into consideration the wear and tear on your shoes, or ramifications such as bunions developing, or even the effect that flat feet can have on your performance capabilities in the gym. For instance, a common issue that occurs when someone possesses flat feet is the tendency for the knees to cave inwards. This is more commonly referred to as valgus collapse, and is seen during exercises like squats and lunges. This is an issue as it means you are not using optimal areas of the body to complete the movements such as your glutes. But this is another topic altogether, so let's save that for another time perhaps. I should state here that what I'm talking about in regards to flat feet resulting in alteration of the body's other segments, wear and tear, and potentially pain in all the regions is not always the case. People can possess flat feet yet never experience what I'm talking about right now. However, a lot of the time flat feet can lead to scenarios such as I've discussed so far, which, in my opinion, does synthesize questions like, is your chiropractor really trying to help you when they perform their weekly snap, crackle and pop? Or are they simply providing you with a temporary fix for the pain that you feel in your neck? I mean, when following your side of pain back down the line, it can sometimes be as simple as targeting an area of the body to remedy the situation. Other times it can be more complicated, but when it comes to flat feet, that is acquired flat feet, and not so much true bone deformities flat feet, the fix can indeed be quite simple. So in saying that, let me now bring you a simple step-by-step process to getting on top of your pancakes. Like any good exercise program, this protocol consists of releases, stretches, and of course, strengthening exercises. which is my absolute favourite method for dealing with upset areas of the body. After all, there is no use simply masking the pain, as it is far better to face and deal with the issue. Before showing you the drills, please keep in mind that I am not telling you to throw away your orthotics, nor am I saying that it is unwise to visit a podiatrist. I am simply enlightening you on the fact that sometimes there is more to the story than meets the eye. Orthotics do have their place. If you support your feet in the right way, plus follow it up with a proper release and strengthening protocol, your body will benefit immediately. But enough talking, let's cut straight to the gym. So with the foot release drill, what you want to do is you want to use either a baseball or a golf ball. I'm going to use the golf ball because I find it just gets into those little nooks and crannies in the foot. So coming down to the ground, ball is going to go on the ground. With your shoes off, you're going to place your foot onto the ball. From here, you want to try and put in enough weight to sort of feel the ball pushing against you. You might feel a little bit of pain or discomfort, but just take deep breaths and sort of just chill through it. When you are now pushing into the ball, just take your time and just find those little painful areas and maybe do mini circles when you find one. So just chilling on top of it, mini circles. Throughout it, you're just breathing and just relaxing into it. Again, the more weight you put into the ball, the harder it's going to be. So just trying to work all the way through the whole entire foot. You can kind of, if you want, you can start up near the toes and just sort of work your way back to the heel, pausing on those bit uncomfortable spots and just doing mini circles, breathing throughout it and just letting it release and relax. Another thing to do while you're doing this as well, when you find those little spots like I have just then, you just can open up the toes, sort of stretching out the toes and then just letting it relax back over the ball. And just once you have completed a region, you can just again adjust it to the next spot. Stretch out, breathing, mini circles if you want. Just basically just nice and slow. So following that foot release drill with the golf ball, we're going to use the baseball now on the calf. So you can just place that on the ground. The calf goes directly on top of it. With your hands, you're going to support your body weight. And so again, the more weight you put into the ball, the harder it's going to be on your legs. So just pay attention to that positioning where you feel comfortable. And same thing as the foot, just nice and slow over the calf. When you find those little niggling areas, just pausing on it, trying to bend that ankle as much as possible towards the knee, just pulling the toes right up and just breathing throughout it. You can adjust angles to all areas of your calf and just finding those spots that you find are a little bit uncomfortable. So following up those two release drills, we're just going to do a couple of stretch mobility drills. So the first one's going to be using a weight plate, but you can just use anything that's kind of raised off the ground. So coming down to the plate, your toes are going to be on the plate, heel a little bit close to the plate, and then you're just going to push into it so your knee is coming forward over the toes as much as possible. You feel it up the back of the leg. Just kind of let it relax, and then when you feel comfortable again, you just go again. And just throughout it, just taking deep breaths. Just trying to push as far as possible. You want to also make sure that this knee kind of stays over the toes, so keeping it in line. Try to limit the knee caving inwards, just keep it in line. And so from after that, you can go into your mobility drill with this one. So this one, you just need a wall just to kind of give you a bit of feedback. So coming up against the wall, position the front foot so that you're about half of your own foot away from the wall. So in that particular area that I'm talking about. And with this other foot, just kind of position it just at the heel. So now you're kind of in this setup. And so from here, what you're trying to do is this front leg's knees trying to go to the wall, but you're also maintaining contact with both feet on the ground. So if you find that one a little bit difficult, can't actually get the knee to the wall as much as possible when you're bending, just have to step forward a little bit with both of them. So you're trying to really push into it, trying to get that knee to the wall, but the heels do not lift. So adjust again. And when you find the spot where you are hitting, just adjust that back foot now. It's a tiny bit back, and you still are just trying to push forward into it, trying to get that knee to the wall. So following up those release, stretch and mobility drills, you're going to finish it off with some strengthening and activating drills. And with this one, it's a real simple one. You just want to try and make your foot into a tripod. So basically that's going to consist of your big toe is going to be your one point of contact, your pinky toe is going to be the other, and your heel, which I'm pointing at my wrist this time, but on the feet is going to be the third point of contact. So coming down, onto the floor. And what you want to do, so again, big toe is 1 point of contact, little toe is the second, and then the heel will be the third. So you want to maintain that contact the whole time with these 3 points. And so from here, once we're in this position, all you want to do is actively pull the feet back towards the heels. So you actually bring in the front portion of your foot back to the heel. So you're creating a bit more of an arch in the foot. So instead of being in that flat position, when we pull it to get back into the toes coming towards the heels, you can see the arch being created. And so you just want to go through maybe 10 or so of those the whole time, maintaining that contact with the 3 points. So pinky toe, the big toe, and the heel on the ground as you create that arch. And so with the second one, you're just going to be using a towel. The same as before, without the towel, you're just going to pull the toes back towards the heels. So you're trying to create that arch a little bit more in the foot. Again, keeping all 3 points of contact on the ground. So you can do 15 or so reps per foot. You really feel that in the bottom of the foot. So this one's a little bit more complicated, but all you're going to be doing is just standing on one leg. So starting this one off, lifting that one leg off the ground, you're trying to maintain the hips nice and square and keeping a straight leg right down to the ground. So you'll feel it straight away, your feet are trying to collapse inwards, so that pronation that I've been talking about, and you want to kind of just fight that. So almost like you're trying to go into supination. So again, the pronation that we were talking about in the video, this way, it's going to be that's going to be trying to happen whilst you're standing on the 1 foot. You want to just fight it, so you're pushing it outwards almost. Just maintain that as much as possible. To advance this, so just come backwards. You can use a weight. So you're starting this one off with weight to the leg that's going to be balancing, and you're just trying to maintain nice tall posture throughout it. Keep fighting it with the feet, so keep turning it outwards, so everting it. And when you feel comfortable, you can just switch the hands, and you'll feel that straight away trying to shift your weight to the other side, and so you can collapse, but you want to just fight that the whole time. Make sure the foot's working as much as possible. And so this last drill that I'm going to show you today is a nice easy one you can kind of do anywhere, and you're going to use both feet for this one. So when your feet are in position on the ground, you're going to actively evert the feet, so you're supinating it almost, and at the same time you're going to be torquing the knees outwards, so the kneecaps will be twisting outwards, but the feet are going to remain in contact on the ground. So when you do torque the knees outwards, you'll feel the butt come on, so you'll feel the muscles in your butt. And from here, you're just going to squat down as deep as you can before you feel like you're going to lose that. So nice and tall postured, keeping the feet in contact. So again, that tripod that I was talking about, both the toes and the heel in contact with the ground. And just come back up when you're done with that. So again, feet in contact on the ground, knees torqued outwards, butt will come on, and nice and low as possible with the squat, and then back to the start. Hey guys, Hayden here. I hope you found the information in this video helpful, and I really hope that the stuff in this video is going to help you with your pancake feet. If you want to learn anything more about the topics discussed throughout this episode, be sure to check out the description, and let me know if you enjoyed the episode. You can do that by hitting that like, comment, and or subscribe button. That'll really help me out. So I guess that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.